All right, for October 8th, we have the Son of Frankenstein from this 30 movie set on Blu ray. So, first things first, just like the other discs in the set that have two movies on the same disc, you have to select which one you want to do. So, this one is from 1939. And one cool thing about it is that Universal got a new logo. So look at that. Look at that fancy thing. The little stars are spinning around all over the place. Where how they made that. So it already started doing something right off the bat, right during the opening credits that I really liked. And that is that there was really like creepy and menacing music just right from the get-go. Okay, so a question that I actually had going into this was about Boris Karloff. His daughter said that this is the last time that he played Frankenstein because he felt like he had done everything that the character should do. So basically, I'm watching this movie being like, okay, why did you agree to do this one? But two, why did you stop doing it after this one? Like, what happens in here that made you not want to do it anymore? So this movie is, look at that down there. It is an hour and 39 minutes. I was really surprised to see that it was that length because all the other ones have been much shorter, like an hour and 11 minutes or something like that. Also, look at Bela Lugosi. Look at that. So that's the guy who played Dracula in the 1931 Dracula, and he's Igor in this one. Here's a nice creepy, moody shot. I think these movies are really starting to perfect the creepy moodiness of these things. Okay, kind of going back to the length of the movie. I did not feel that any of the hour and 39 minutes of this thing was wasted at all. It actually still felt like it was moving along at a really good clip. And also, it just seemed like more people ended up having better characterization in this because it was able to take its time a little bit with the character moments. Except for the wife, she didn't get too great of characterization. But look at this. They're basically spraying a hose on the window. I kind of interrupted myself. Yeah, she doesn't do too much other than just be like, oh, I'm scared. But yeah, they're just like spraying a hose on the on the window of the train. So anyway, Son of Frankenstein. The story pretty much, you have this guy's the son of Henry Frankenstein from the first two movies, and he's inherited their estate, basically the castle. So they're on their way there to go possess it, and of course the town is all upset because they think he's going to do it again. And they're also just upset that what's happened in the past. Also, it turns out that this new, I think his name's Wolf, but the new Frankenstein is, turns out he's just as obsessed with his dad being right as his dad was. There's also a child actor in this movie that was really, really good. So it's their son. And then I was like, oh, Son of Frankenstein. So he's a son of Frankenstein? Boop. And also their son is. And also the monster is. And speaking of the monster, so in like popular culture or whatever, pretty much everybody calls the monster, they call it Frankenstein, including myself on accident all the time. And right here, he actually says that. He's like, 9 out of people actually call it. And then right before he says Frankenstein, the train conductor guy's like, Frankenstein. So anyway, it's cool. The movie acknowledges that, and I wonder if they're doing that because that like in real life everybody does that or what. But I think it's cool that the movie acknowledges that people call it Frankenstein. So speaking of the Blu-ray of this, so the picture quality is actually really good. The blacks are really deep. The detail's really good. So I thought, even though there's two movies on this disc, the picture looked really good. And the sound I thought was totally sufficient. There wasn't any particular problems with the sound. There was a couple little specks on the picture. One thing that I noticed is during the transitions from different scenes, it actually gets blurry right before it moves on, it actually ended up getting really distracting. I'll show you what one of those looks like. See if the camera can pick it up. Okay, so let's see if we can get it to focus here. And then look when they go get in the car. See if you can tell the level of focus on the picture. I don't know. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but basically, as the scene changes from like one environment to another. So in the middle of a scene, the cuts are really quick and there's not any blurriness, but when it's going to change to an entirely different place, the clarity of the picture suddenly goes super blurry. Then it changes, and then sometimes it's a little blurry still, and then it goes clear. So I don't know if that's like a Blu-ray authoring issue or if that's just how the movie was made. So if it was remastered, would those blurry parts still be there? Also, if you know what that is about, like just film-wise from the 30s, this is from 1939. I don't know if I said that. Boop. Yeah, what's those blurry transitions about? If you were a little kid, how would you like to go to bed in this place after a long train and car ride? I mean, look at this frame though. This is actually one of my very favorite shots in the whole movie. And this movie does this a lot. They have these really deep shots with really awesome stark lighting and kind of crazy, weird, bendy, almost cartoony architecture. But this is one of my favorite shots here. But yeah, look at that. And there's this crazy dark corridor leading to the kids' nursery as well. But yeah, this is one of my favorite ones right here. Here it is right here. Look at that. Look at that. I almost feel like I'm in like the scary nightmare part of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Okay, this is actually our first meeting of the town inspector. This guy here that only has one arm, and you can see because he grabs his arm and makes it do stuff. And this guy actually had a kind of a crazy backstory. His arm got ripped off by the monster when he was a child. It's actually really terrifying. Also, it really removes a lot of the sympathy for the monster. Usually, he kills only when provoked. But when he talks about, well, I guess the people in his house shot him, but still, like rip off a kid's arm, like that's freaking horrible. So there's some crazy, terrible things that happen in this like universe. Not all of it's on screen, but yeah, I really like this guy, and they really developed his character, and he had an interesting arc and a important part to play. So I like this guy a lot. Okay, Bela Lugosi plays Igor, this like hunchback, broken neck guy. This part is so gross. He like taps on his broken neck and it makes the grossest sound here. But Bela Lugosi was so awesome. I loved him in Dracula, where he's like so like regal, and then here he's just like this like really scary, scummy guy. All right, so this is 30 minutes in, and this is the first time we actually see the monster. So the movie's not in a hurry to get anywhere, but it still moves at a good pace. But yeah, it took 30 minutes to see this guy. So then Frankenstein, Wolf or whatever his name is, suddenly gets super obsessed with healing him because something's wrong with him. Something's probably happened to him. Anyway, he gets super obsessed with healing him, and it's like, wait. You know this thing has killed a bunch of people, and he's just like, so he gets obsessed with like healing him, like he can redeem his father by fixing his messed up experiment. I was like, I'm not sure about that motivation. So far, this movie's done a really good job of just having like a general, like foreboding and kind of making you be afraid for um, his family's safety. Let's see right here. So you can see he's gonna stick a gun under his pillow. Also, they have two beds that the heads are together because the house is full of dread. So head to head, if the house is full of dread. But yeah, you're afraid for his family safety because the kind of the theme with Frankenstein is that if you delve into these powers, then pretty much everything you know and love is going to get destroyed by your obsession of it. So, yeah, we're definitely worried about her, boop, and the kid who's asleep in some crazy scary place. Okay, right here is actually one of my very favorite shots of the movie. Look at that. Man, the moody, foggy, foresty creepiness in these movies in black and white is so good looking. So one thing about the monster, boop, that they changed in this movie from the last movie is that he can't talk anymore. So yeah, I know he's had like some like literal trauma, but it's like he's just back to like grunting out of the side of his mouth and stuff. So that was actually kind of disappointing that he doesn't talk anymore in this one. Oh, also speaking of kind of the pace of this movie, the first kill doesn't even come till like an hour and 5 minutes, and normally these movies are wrapping up at that time because they're usually like an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes long. This one's hour 39, and yeah, first kill hour and 5. Here's a really epic looking shot of the townsfolk being upset again because strange things are going on. And by strange things, I mean murder things. So the body count is actually 6 before the movie even starts in events not shown in this movie, and then there's 3 more people that get it. Okay, here's my quote from this one. So the cop is basically interrogating the guy on what's going on and what's all these kills coming from, and the guy says, he goes, "Is it the old legendary monster of my father's time? Or am I supposed to have whipped up one as a housewife whips up an omelet?" He actually said that in the movie. That was pretty funny. Look at this beauty of a shot. This is after something bad happened to someone that the monster loved, and he does this really crazy, powerful scream. But look at this thing. He's just cruising through this underground secret cave here. It's just such a cool looking shot. All right, extreme spoiler alert. So the way it wraps up is actually pretty awesome, with the one-armed cop kind of being able to protect a child from a similar fate that he had when he was little. So that was his arc kind of going. The one-armed cop actually reminds me of the Batman, where at the very beginning, where the kid's dad gets killed, and then Batman makes eye contact with a little kid, and you know that he feels what that kid feels, and this cop was like, didn't want to let that happen. Also, look at this burning. This body in there. I'm going to move forward a few frames. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So yeah, I think I can see why Boris Karloff didn't want to come back after that. Boop. Okay, I actually really liked the way that Wolf Frankenstein ended up redeeming his father. It was a different way than he thought. He thought he was going to do it by kind of completing his experiment and fixing his experiment, but instead he actually defeated his experiment and got rid of it and saved the town. So that was kind of a cool way to clear his family name. So I actually really liked that aspect of it. Okay, I think overall it was a good sequel, and it was a good time, and the characters were good. The dialogue was good. Had some cool action. I really liked Igor and his like dark humor and weird broken neck, and he was just fun to watch. I would say it's not like super top like Dracula, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein. It's not Dracula's Daughter. It's not quite top like those, but I'd say it's close. It's probably right below those. It's like high middle as far as like compared to the other movies goes. Okay, so I'm actually super curious how they're going to continue on, because if you look at the box set, there's like Frankenstein this and Frankenstein that. So I do not know. I mean, look at that. I guess that's a horror movie thing, but how's he going to keep coming back? So, I mean, I'm super excited for all these movies, and but I'm really sitting here wondering how they're going to keep bringing this guy back. And I think I might be with Boris Karloff on this one. I mean, the fact that he couldn't talk in this one and he's kind of just used as somebody's pawn. I'm starting to feel like the character of the monster of Frankenstein is getting kind of tired, like played out. So I really don't know how they're going to justify him coming back, and what are they going to do with him that's going to justify him being back. So I'm excited to see, because I like the character, but it's seeming a little bit like he dies, he comes back. He dies, he comes back. So I don't know. Anyway, I liked it. I'm really glad I watched it. The Blu-ray looked good. It sounded good. And so this one is October 8th that this video is going to come out. And then let's see what's next. Okay, so the next one, it might be too blurry. Let's see. Maybe. Got a cat going nuts here. Okay, well, I'll just read it because that was not feeling like focusing. So let's see, that was Son of Frankenstein. So the next one is The Invisible Man Returns, and I'm excited for that. I really like the special effects on The Invisible Man, so that one will be next. So this one, goodness, there's a cat on me. Yeah, this one's October 8th. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. And if you're going to join me on the rest of these, and if you like these old monster movies. All right. Thanks. Bye.